Hello everyone, hope you're doing well. We are covering the suggestions passed to developers once again, and we're having a look at ground stuff this time, but once again we're going to be splitting it into two parts. The reason for this is there's just a lot of it, and it makes more sense in a couple of videos. Also, there is a bunch of them that have been passed before, so I'm just not going to go over them again. Like, the literal articles have been copy and pasted from earlier suggestions, so I'm just going to leave them where they are. Let's get into the suggestions and have a look at what's going on. The first vehicle is for America, and it's the Amphibious Combat Vehicle, or the ACV-30. The ACV-30 is an infantry fighting vehicle originally based off of the Italian Iveco Super AV that is being adopted by the United States Marines. The program, dubbed Amphibious Combat Vehicle, began in March of 2015 after the previous program, the Expeditionary Fighting Vehicle, or EFV, was cancelled in 2011 due to reliability issues. The new ACV program was tailored to replace the long-running amphibious assault vehicles that the USMC has been operating since the 1970s. The new focus of this program was on increasing speed and lethality during amphibious operations. This led to the competition between ST Kinetics, SAIC's Terex 2, and BAE/Iveco Super AV. Ultimately, BAE and Iveco won the competition. There are four main variants of the ACV being offered: the baseline ACV-P, which is designed to carry personnel; the ACV-C, which is a command variant for situational awareness; and C2, the ACV-R for field maintenance and recovery operations; and the improved lethality variant featuring a 30mm gun, which would later be dubbed the ACV-30. All ACV variants from BAE and Iveco feature a 690 horsepower turbocharged diesel engine for enhanced speed through water and the ability to upgrade in the future, modular armor, and also the capability to wade through water at speeds of 6 to 7 kilometers an hour at a sea state of 3. Even with the 30mm turrets, the ACV maintains its amphibious capabilities and still maneuvers in the high sea states. After BAE's ACV was selected in 2018, low-rate production began. In 2020, initial ACV-Ps were delivered, with ACV-Cs delivered in 2022. According to congressional reports, by FY 2025, the USMC will be fielding the ACV-30. However, there was much deliberation on what turret will be utilized for the gun variant of the ACV. Options included the Otto Melara Hitfist OWS, which is already offered on the Iveco Super AV, as well as the Leonardo Hitroll. However, the only field-tested and approved turret the military has selected was the Kongsberg MCT-30. In 2020, the Marines eventually selected the Kongsberg MCT-30 to be incorporated on the ACV, which can feature advanced technologies such as laser warning receivers, an incorporation of Javelin and Stinger missiles, and a Kongsberg Protector RWS. The main gun utilized is the widely used 30mm Mark 44 Bushmaster II automatic cannon, capable of firing ammunition to meet whatever threat that the ACV comes across. Right above the main gun is the coaxial gun that can be reloaded from the inside. The ACV program is broken up into two phases, Phase 1 and Phase 2. Phase 1 will be a standard acquisition plan, first acquiring the different variants of the vehicle, while Phase 2 is focused on further developing the speed and deployment capabilities, allowing the vehicles to be deployed from 13 to 15 knots. Further emphasis will be on increasing the overall speed of the ACV without sacrificing the armor and weaponry of the vehicle. Overall, the ACV-30 will be the cornerstone of the United States Marines, capable of meeting many different needs, whether they are short-range air defense, fire support, or continuing its base function of moving personnel. An estimated 50 to 75 vehicles are currently in use by the USMC for operational testing, with the potential to grow by several hundred. The next vehicle is for Germany and is the Panzerhaubitze 2000. The PZH-2000 is a highly mobile and flexible weapon system which is deployed in both conventional missions as well as in asymmetric mission scenarios as indirect fire support. The fully automatic handling of the 60-round onboard ammunition reserve and a modern and precise 155mm L52 ordnance enable the engaging of targets at a high rate of fire within the shortest amount of time. These characteristics made the PZH-2000 to the most effective artillery system in the world, and to an absolute standard for modern artillery. The tube is an internally chrome-plated and laser-hardened 155mm L52, the 52 caliber long-stroke tube, manufactured under the Joint Ballistics Memorandum of Understanding. All types of 155mm NATO ammunition can be fired. Designed for joint operations, the full autonomy of the complete system in terms of handling, navigation, fire control, as well as its system-based stability, enable completely new tactical mission possibilities. The PZH-2000 satisfies all international requirements for a modern tube artillery system and is currently in use with 4 NATO member countries. More than 330 systems have been produced and supplied to date. Since September 2006, the PZH-2000 has successfully been deployed in Afghanistan. Together with the Canadian forces, the 2000 of the Royal Netherlands Army could prove its international leading position, amongst others, during the Operation Medusa by reliably supporting the ISAF troops in Afghanistan. The vehicle's tower and tub are made of welded steel armor, which is talking about the turret. This protects both the crew and stored in the tub ammunition. The inside of the vehicle was lined with a so-called spall liner to catch splinters of armor that peel off when fired inside the vehicle. The armor itself protects against shelling from weapons up to caliber 14.5mm and splinters of 152mm artillery shells. The top of the tub and the tower can be equipped with additional protection against bomblets, which is called hedgehog armor. The bomblet shuts consists of a rubber material and is walkable. The bluff bodies have a length of 60mm and are intended to protect against shaped charges. The term hedgehog armor results from the spiked form of the bluff body. The 48 shafts of the propellant charge magazines are separated from the combat area by 3 sliding doors, as to not endanger the crew in the event of an explosion in the cargo. In addition, there are 2 outlet openings in the tower roof, which are intended to divert the pressure generated during an explosion to the outside. An ABC protection system in the right rear part of the vehicle pan completes the protective equipment. Manufactured under the Joint Ballistics Memorandum of Understanding, all types of 155mm NATO ammunition can be fired. The combat load of the PZH-2000 comprises of 60 artillery rounds in caliber 155mm in different on order varying sorting. Explosive frag, multispectral smoke, illumination bomblets, and smart projectiles are available. All types of ammunitions are also available as base bleed projectiles. For Russia, we have the Object 195. At the end of the Soviet period, the USSR was getting concerned about the rapidly improving tank designs NATO powers were putting into service, such as the M1 Abrams, the Challenger 1, and also the Leopard 2. In 1988, the Soviet Union began the program Improving 88, where design bureaus were given the task of developing a series of tank prototypes that would be able to bring the latest and the best technologies of tank development into one full package, which could both outperform NATO tanks of its time and potential new NATO designs if the Cold War somehow went on. The Object 195 brought radical new features to the table, which was not used in Soviet tank doctrine. A fully digital unmanned turret using a massive 152mm anti-tank gun and also a coaxial 30mm cannon. The 152mm cannon is the 2A83 smoothbore, and the tank, which used both an APF-SDS with over 1,000mm of penetration at 2,000 meters, and also a heat which could punch through 1,500mm of RHA armor. The gun is also capable of using different types of HE shells. The 2A83 cannon is also rumored to be able to use a special variant of the 3BV3 tactical nuclear shell with 1 kiloton of TNT equivalent. which a 152mm version of the Armata platform has also been considered for. The secondary gun is a 30mm 2A42, able to use the same types of ammunition as the BMP-2M, currently in-game, such as the APF-SDS, APDS, and HE. Another unique feature was the installation of a new optical sight, a ground radar, and next-generation thermals, giving it the ability to and detect movement of potential enemy combatants both in day and also night time. Another big feature was the armored capsule, giving the crew the max potential protection in case of a catastrophic explosion of the ammo rack. The tank also features the Start APS, which is able to intercept various types of anti-tank shells. The composite armor of the Object 195 is believed to be less strong compared to the Object 148. Another difference is that the Object 195 uses Contact 5 ERA blocks identical to what the T-80 uses, while the Armata platform uses a completely different type of ERA and also side protection. However, when the USSR collapsed, the state funds of the project were relocated to the newly formed Russian Federation, which suffered from a massive debt crisis it inherited from the former Soviet Empire. And with budgets being cut basically everywhere, the Object 195 was basically put on life support, only giving enough funds to keep the program alive, but not enough to make a serious replacement effort of the aging T-72 and T-80 series of tanks, which were beginning themselves to show their fault lines and issues with the warfare used at the turn of the millennium. However, in the early 2000s, with new financial reforms and high oil prices, Russia was able to make a new, better look at the Object 195 program. The design was considered to still be highly promising, but with new technologies being brought to life in form of better computers, better designs and armor, and other technologies, and in 2010, the Object 195 was replaced with the 148, which would end up becoming the famous T-14 Armata. So there is some of the good old vehicles that are around the place. As always, I hope you have a wonderful day, and I'll see you next time. I'd like to thank Schnitzel Stroker, Brendan Quinn, Vilneus, Character Fuel, Carrion Crow, Nicholas Richardson, Gus Irenicus, Pyman, Wartinder, Teddy, Daniel Stanton, B. Young, Opium Prime, Masonocrat, Lafouche, Alan Hacker, Sem Arslan, Uncle Bean, and Derek R. for supporting the channel.